Kristal Hart, and we are at the theater at Madison Square Garden. This is a Zayas versus Teixeira card. Takes place Saturday, June 8th. It'll be broadcast live on ESPN. And now, the weigh-in.
It all goes down tomorrow, Saturday, June 8th. We begin at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN+, and then we move over to the network, ESPN, at exactly 11 o'clock Eastern. You do not want to miss this stacked card. 8 fights in total as we celebrate Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend here in New York City. Let's get it started. Let's get them on the scale. Our first bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Please welcome from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Jordanne OMG Garcia, and her opponent from right here in Manhattan, New York, Nisa La Madrina Rodriguez. First on the scale, Jordanne OMG Garcia. 165.2 for Jordanne Garcia. And her opponent from right here in New York, Nisa La Madrina Rodriguez. 160.6 for Nisa La Madrina Rodriguez. This bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the middleweight division from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Jordanne OMG Garcia. And from New York, Nisa La Madrina Rodriguez. 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Please welcome from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Lemir Bang Bang Isom-riley, and his opponent from Danbury, Connecticut, Feliz. First on the scale, Lemir Bang Bang Isom-riley. 253.6 for Lemir Bang Bang Isom-riley. Next on the scale, from Danbury, Connecticut, Feliz. 220 for Feliz. This bout scheduled for 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. From Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Lemir Bang Bang Isom-riley. From Danbury, Connecticut, Feliz. 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior lightweight division. Our contracted weight here is 131 pounds. From Baltimore, Maryland, Antonio Glorious Dunton Jr. and his opponent from the Bronx, New York, Ofacio Sniper Falcon. First on the scale, Antonio Glorious Dunton Jr. 130.4 for Antonio Glorious Dunton Jr. and his opponent from the Bronx, New York, Ofacio Sniper Falcon. 129.8 for Ofacio Sniper Falcon. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior lightweight division. From Baltimore, Maryland, Antonio Glorious Dunton Jr. From the Bronx, New York, Ofacio Sniper Falcon. 6 rounds in the junior lightweight division. Our next bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Contracted weight here is 162 pounds. Please welcome from Panama City, Florida, Quincy Chico Lavalley, and his opponent from Deer Park, New York, representing all of Brooklyn, Jahai Tucker. First on the scale, Quincy Chico Lavalley. 161.4 for Quincy Chico Lavalley. And his opponent from Deer Park, New York, Jahai Tucker. 160.2 for Jahai Tucker. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division from Panama City, Florida, Quincy Chico Lavalley. From Deer Park, New York, representing Brooklyn, Jahai Tucker. 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Our next bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the flyweight division. 112 pounds is our contracted weight here. Please welcome from Linwood, California, Cristopher El Vago Rios. And from New York, Andy Dominguez. First on the scale, Cristopher El Vago Rios. 111.8 for Cristopher El Vago Rios. And his opponent from New York, Andy Dominguez. 111.8 for Andy Dominguez. This bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the flyweight division. From Linwood, California, Cristopher El Vago Rios. From New York, Andy Dominguez. 8 rounds in the flyweight division. Our next bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Our contracted weight here is 143 pounds. Please welcome from Tangier, Morocco, Tarik El Cameo Zaina, and his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, Tiger Johnson. First on the scale, Tarik El Cameo Zaina. 142.6 for Tarik El Cameo Zaina. And his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, Tiger Johnson. 141.2 for Tiger Johnson. This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. From Tangier, Morocco, Tarik El Cameo Zaina. From Cleveland, Ohio, Tiger Johnson. 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the featherweight division. Our contracted weight here is 126 pounds. Please welcome from Ciudad de David, Chiriqui, Panama, Brayan La Roca de Gracia, and his opponent from Brooklyn, New York, Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington. First on the scale, Brayan La Roca de Gracia. 125, 125 for Brayan La Roca de Gracia, 125. And his opponent from Brooklyn, New York, Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington. 125.4. 125.4 for Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington. This is our co-feature of the evening, 10 rounds in the featherweight division. From Ciudad de David, Chiriqui, Panama, Brayan La Roca de Gracia. From Brooklyn, New York, Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington. 10 rounds in the featherweight division. It's now time to weigh in our main event as we celebrate Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend here in New York City. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Please welcome from Sombrio, Brazil, Patrick Teixeira, and from San Juan, Puerto Rico, the NABF and NABO junior middleweight champ, XANDER Zayas. First on the scale, Patrick Teixeira. 153.4 for Patrick Teixeira. From San Juan, Puerto Rico, XANDER Zayas. 153.4. 153.4 for XANDER Zayas. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event. 10 rounds in the junior middleweight division. From Sombrio, Brazil, Patrick Teixeira. From San Juan, Puerto Rico, XANDER Zayas. 10 rounds in the junior middleweight division. The NABF and NABO junior middleweight titles on the line. Teixeira, Zayas, 10 rounds in the junior middleweight division. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it goes down tomorrow, Saturday, June 8th. We begin at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. We move over to the network at 11 p.m. Eastern. That's ESPN. It's Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend in New York City. We'll see you tomorrow from the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden. As always, this is boxing. This is Top Rank. My name is Mark Chinook. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
And I'm Kristal Hart reporting from the theater at Madison Square Garden. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the fights.